Mendocino Coast is a relatively remote area at the end of a curvy 33-mile mountain road. And with the Coast Range at our back and the Pacific Ocean spread out in front of us, our lives are conducted within this small strip of coastal hills and headlands. The place helps to define the beers because these brands all grew up here. They're the product of people who felt like we did about being in Fort Bragg. When I was in my mid-20s, I lived for a couple of years in the southwest of England and got a real taste for what good beer was. When we got back to California, I realized if I was going to find a good beer like I'd been accustomed to drinking in England, I was going to have to learn to make beer myself. Some friends came to me and said, a brewery would be a great addition to the local community. We wanted nothing more than to have a great little roadhouse here on Highway 1 where you could come in and get a great beer and a nice meal. Over the next 4 or 5 years, our business had grown and we were reaching our capacity for our little pub. By the time we built the new brewery, we were probably distributing in a dozen states or so around the country.
I was very fortunate to start my career here at North Coast Brewing Company. I got to learn from Mark Riedrich, one of the true pioneers of the industry, and I was fortunate to witness the growth of this company from that small brew pub to this 70,000 barrel a year operation that it is now.
Our approach was first to understand what made these classic beers of Europe what they were. These great beers all had something in common. Sometimes the hops were a little bit to the forefront, sometimes the malt took the lead role, but there was always some sort of basic balance between those two very important elements in beer. Everything that we did from the very beginning was our own take on a classic effort.
To make these traditional beers really well, we have to pay attention to detail. It starts with the formulations of the beer, and then it goes to day-to-day production. The ingredients have to be top quality. Things have to be clean and sterile and done the same way every time.
We get to do business without the distractions of being in a giant urban area, inspired every day by the beautiful place that we live, and surrounded by a very supportive community.
It's very satisfying when you feel like you're a part of a community that appreciates what you do. They appreciate the beers, they appreciate our dedication to the community, and it never stops being fun, seeing somebody with our beer in their grocery cart.
I think what we do is reflected by where we are. You look to the west and you have the Pacific Ocean. You look to the east and you have the redwood trees. We're very unique in that, and I think because of that we'll make unique beers.